Burrell School started as a public school in 1879, and the current building was built in 1890. And we were lucky enough to purchase the building and the vineyard surrounding it in 1973. What we evolved to was giving a school nickname to all of our wines, so that we have Teacher's Pet Chardonnay, we have Principal's Choice Pinot, Spring Break Syrah, Dean's List Cabernet Sauvignon, and then of course our Bordeaux blend is called Valedictorian. We say the more you consume of Burrell School, the smarter you get. We've got chalkboards in here with lessons, and then our tasting plan is a lesson plan for the day, so you're in school. We're going to start with Teacher's Pet Chardonnay. Very crisp, full-bodied Chardonnay. People are amazed. They go, gee, don't bother with a Chardonnay. I'm a red wine person. And we'll go, hey, you're in school. You're not allowed to skip a grade. We will barrel ferment our Chardonnays. We don't do anything in stainless steel right now. So it is French oak, and it stays in the oak barrel for 11 months. They will age just like a red wine. They've got structure, they've got acid, they've got all the attributes of something that's going to live and thrive in that bottle. Next up is Pinot Noir, just because we're in Burgundy, and I like to pour the Pinot right after the Chardonnay. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, there's a lot of similarities. It's the first grape that we pick. We grow 4 clones of Pinot Noir. Each one of those ripens at a slightly different rate. So we will obviously pick those at different times. This is a blend pretty much of equal parts of all 4 clones. They all have that nice raspberry, even strawberry profile. But as we get into the Merlot, even the Cabernet Sauvignon, we get wild black cherry. Up next is our extra credit Cabernet Franc. This is estate grown. It's something that everyone loves because it is unique, is this aromatic and the spiciness. We're dry farming, we're keeping the vigor down. As we see across pretty much all the grapes, we have that sage. We have clove.
That clove, to me, it's more cinnamon because it has a sweet spice element to it.
What I like to do with folks when they're tasting, I think this is where we start really moving into intensity of fruit and wild black cherry. This is 2 full years in French oak, and what happens is it just softens the tannins. Taste the Cab Franc, taste the Merlot, taste the Cabernet Sauvignon, and then taste the blend. And if you don't like my blend, you can make your own. Everyone asked me what my favorite wine is. I said, whatever I have in my glass at the moment. They're all my children. I love them all, and each one of them has, I'll just say, a personality, a signature. Sculpturing the plants, literally. Been farming here since 1976, but seriously since about '89. We grow 7 varietals here. Chardonnay, Pinot, we've got Merlot, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cab Franc. And now with the latest bud over to Petit Verdot. This is quadrilateral on Chardonnay. And so by spreading it out to the sun, more of a horizontal plane, we're close to the ocean, we're 10 miles away. We will get the colder air off the fog. It is a different flavor profile, certainly, that you get by growing those Bordeaux varietals here in a cooler climate than, let's say, what Napa has. The match of the terroir, the climate here is so conducive to Burgundian style Pinot and Chardonnay. I make about 16 barrels of Chardonnay a year now, and I make about 30 barrels of Pinot Noir. We've got a lot of sandy loam here. The drainage is pretty incredible. I mean, I dry farm, so we're not irrigating at all. We're much later in the harvest. We've got to thin it. We're pretty much on average about 2.5 tons an acre, even on Merlot. I have no problem ripening Cab Franc, and I'm just amazed at the aroma. So those two, Cabernet Franc and Merlot, are the heart of what we do here on the Bordeaux side. We see a lot of intense flavor. But I think, again, the flavors, I think more of the soil, more of the cool evenings with a cooler climate. We can maintain the acidity level all the way through maturity. We're tasting the grape before we harvest and say, yes, it's now ready. I think it tastes right. And we'll be very selective when we're picking. So that gives us more concentration. We are ripening late, but we're not over ripening. It doesn't really matter what the Brix level is. It's all about testing by taste. We're not in the factory, mass quantities of wine at Burrell School. And maybe it's the old Italian style of just taking a big bite out of this apple, this big cluster of grapes, just like an apple, and just roll it around in your mouth, seeds and all, and say, yes, I think that's ready. I think we've got a winner here. Let's pick it.